My cousin Sean's book is a lot of, it seems like, just journal entries. It's not written like a traditional book. It does not like character development, as far as I can tell. I'm on page 230, about 2/3 way through the book. And then it's like, there's characters in here who, as his cousin, I know who they are. He says Big Cousin E, which could be me, but I know that it's my brother. Both of our names start with E, so he means Eric, because he talks to Eric and has interactions with Eric, and I barely have spoken to him, barely interacted with him. Not intentionally, just him and Eric just they talk more. I talk more to my cousin Anthony than I do to Sean. Just the way it is. Not something I'm doing intentionally, because that would be sus. So many slang words in here, and a lot of them I don't know what they mean when I read them, like sus and merc. I had to ask Eric, his cousin, my brother. Sus is short for suspect. It's like a catch-all term for something that's wrong. And then merc, I had to, it's not in the Merriam-Webster dictionary. So I tried Urban Dictionary, and it's in there. The first definition entry was to kill. So the way that Sean uses it, sometimes it means that to kill, but sometimes he uses it. He said that a cop was murking a sandwich, and then the cop murked the last bite of his sandwich. So he killed the sandwich, he was killing it, and then he finished killing it. Okay. And then mish. I didn't guess that was, even from the context, that means mission, that's short for mission. Eric told me that. And then well, there was one time he was talking about his sister, his little sister in Tokyo, and she went to look for clothes in the Gwen Stefani style that would make her look drippy. I have no idea what that means. Just, I don't know, because of the people we associated with when we were younger, or now. What the hell does drippy mean? As far as style, you get drippy clothes. So there's like, he's talking about my brother, but he's talking about like what. Here's what we did on this day, and it was difficult because I was having trouble with my skin, and couldn't sleep well in the tent outside, and then it was pouring rain. So it's just like, it's like a journal entry. Here's a day I had, and then he mentions my father, his uncle, and it's just like, okay, this is what Uncle Jay did. It's like, you're not introducing a character and then developing that character, and then, the character's coming back later. It's like, this is what Uncle Jay did, and then just leave it there, or just leave it at that. So It's a very curiously written book. But then I came across this passage here, and for the first time, I'm like, yeah, that's deep. And I guess Sean, um, this is his take. He's not quoting somebody, somebody famous or somebody in his family, his extended family. So he says, page 230 to 231, there were things about which one mustn't speak, about which it wasn't right to, shameful thoughts, things deemed, and understandably, not wrongly so, taboo. Taboo for understandable / not wrong reasons. Yeah? But that didn't mean people didn't have these thoughts. Didn't mean repression was the way. Repression and shame were what created monsters, school shooters. And I probably add any kind of mass shooter, whether they're a teenager going into their high school or they're like in their 60s. I think the Las Vegas shooter, the one who shot from the hotel room into the crowd of music festival. Yeah, he was in his 50s or 60s, and probably include people like him. But I guess that one's a little bit different because we don't really know what was going on. I mean, we have no idea of the motivation. It's my understanding that there's just a big question mark of why he felt motivated to do that. But others that don't shoot up schools, just mass shootings in general, like shooters in their 20s who go to a food festival in Northern California and just start shooting people, and then they surrender to the cops, or they kill themselves, or they have basically like suicide by cop. Yeah, but you could add that to the school shooter. Suicides, Sean says, were what low key created Hitler. That's another thing. I don't talk that way. I don't really use this word low key. But apparently Sean and people around him, like Ryden, from the book, his friend Ryden. I don't why do we get to know Ryden's full name? But so many other people, like his cousin Eric, are just E, and his uncle is just J instead of John. So that's weird. I keep wondering if I'm gonna have like an appearance in this book, if there's gonna be like one line about me. Like, and then big cousin E's older brother, also E. He this or that. Maybe in the next book, maybe I make an appearance. Sean's next compilation of journal entries. So I don't understand why you would need to say that here. low-key created Hitler. I understand what low-key means. It's like down low. Like if somebody says, keep it on the DL, keep it on the down low. Don't let too many people know about it. Don't go around talking about it. Don't tweet it. Post it, anywhere. Just basically keep it to yourself. So I don't understand how that's what low-key created Hitler. It either is or it isn't. One of the factors in how Hitler became who he eventually became. And then he wraps it up by saying, now that there, a sizzling take, I know. Well, is that a sizzling take? I've heard that before, that he was a frustrated artist, and that contributed to who he became. But for this, from the bottom of page 230 to the top of page 231, after I finished reading that, I just needed to reflect on it in a video and say, word. I guess that's something that I don't know if it was really said in the 80s, because I was 6 years old when the 80s ended. I don't really remember the 80s, just barely. And but the 90s, I remember people a lot more than today, I guess. They were just listening to somebody, and you just say the word, and it means like wow, like that's deep, impressive, and also has the connotation of agreeing with it. So word, that's deep. Especially this part here, the Hitler part, whatever. But there are things about which one mustn't speak. Shameful thoughts, taboo. But that doesn't mean that people don't have these thoughts. Yeah, I just want to highlight that, because I definitely agree with that. Totally, because I can't speak about these thoughts that I have. Some of my thoughts, I'm not even going to talk about them, because understandably so, they're taboo. But of course I still have the thoughts, and of course repression is not the way. I have to, as Sean says, it's not the way. And shame, repression and shame, you have to express that, I guess. It's like some of the things Sean says in the book, like It made me laugh. Earlier in the book, he says that he talks about his bay. So I don't know if that's the word. How to pronounce the word BAE? Bay? And I guess that it means a lover, a girlfriend. I don't know if a boy or a man can be a bae, but I have this. I've heard this word before. I don't use it. I've never used it. It's used throughout the book, like ex-bae and side bae. Yeah, so I can pick up on the context, and from past experience of hearing the word, it means girlfriend or lover. He says he wanted to earn himself the treat of having his bae sit on his face. I literally laughed out loud when I read that, just because it's something that a lot of men, heterosexual anyway, want. Not every heterosexual man wants that, but a lot do. And I guess it's kind of taboo to talk about, but not so much, because I'm not afraid to say it. And Sean isn't afraid to write about it. Just sit on the face, earn myself that treat, and have bae sit on my face. Just the way he talks about blowjobs in this book, like assuming the position, laying back. Yeah, I mean, the title of the book is Fuckboy, so you know that it's gonna be some of that talk of sexual intimacy in the book. But yeah, there are things the thoughts that I have involving females, but I'm not gonna probably ever talk about unless I feel somehow really safe. I'm not gonna be judged or shamed for expressing it. And also, when Sean talks about his editor bae, wanting to nix to cut out the so-called rapey parts of his walk book. I thought to myself when I was reading that, that's BS. Of course, don't allow your editor to cut, things that you feel strongly about including. I mean, just get a different editor. Nix her or him. If that's what the editor wants to do, is basically censor you. It seemed like that's what she was trying to do. She was offended by the so-called rapey parts. But then, Sean went on to explain that why he wrote that. There are thoughts and biological urges that men have, and we don't always want to admit to them and talk about them because of society making it seem taboo or wrong to have the thoughts and to admit to the urges. But they should be talked about and admitted to. Right. It's better.